مهمان خانه این تن ای جوان، هر صباحی ضیف نو آید دوان. هین مگو کین ماند اندر گردنم، که همکنون باز پرد در عدم. هرچه آید از جهان غیب وش، در دلت ضیف است او را دار خوش. Rumi, the great Persian poet, tells us this body, this human life, is a guest house. Every morning, a new guest checks in. Some bring joy, others bring pain. Some arrive quietly, while others burst in unannounced. And yet, each one is a guest, just passing through. Our lives, like guest houses, are never empty. They are constantly filled with visitors. Call it emotions, experiences, challenges, and joys. Think about it. Happiness knocks on your door. It's easy to welcome it. You set out the finest plates, pour the sweetest tea, and sit in its glow. But what about sadness or anger or resentment? Do you open the door as quickly for grief? Do you welcome fear or doubt with the same hospitality as joy? What about heartbreak? Most of us don't. We bolt the door. We turn off the lights. We pretend we're not home. Who's knocking? I'm not even home. We do that for years and years and years, sometimes going through our entire life, blocking certain guests from ever visiting. Or if they sneak in through the door when we weren't looking, we kick them out as soon as we see their shadows. Yet Rumi's wisdom invites us to do something radical, to open the door to every guest, even the ones who come with muddy boots and harsh words. Why? Because as Rumi says, whoever visits your house from the world beyond is a guest in your heart. Welcome her with open arms. What if we treated every experience as a divine visitor? Imagine how that could change your life. Instead of battling your sadness, you would sit with it, have a chat, drink a cup of coffee, get to know each other. See what messages they bring to you. Some of it could be from our childhood. And if we just have that conversation, we could put it to peace forever. And we will be a different person once that guest checks out of the room. Instead of resisting uncertainty, you'd invite her to sit at the table. Instead of running from failure, you would learn from it. So many amazing, life-altering messages these wonderful guests bring. Yet we mute them or we kick them out even. What are we truly missing out on if we start listening to them? Truly listening, not just to, run out the clock as they say, but to truly sit with them, see what they have to say. Why do they keep knocking every freaking day? They must have something absolutely important to say, don't you think? Why do they come visit you every day, every night, whenever you open your eyes in the morning or are trying to fall asleep at night? What is it that this guest keeps coming to your door? As Rumi says, what if she's a messenger from the divine? And if you don't believe in anything spiritual, what if it's just your subconscious desperately trying to reach you, to tell you something, to shake you from going down a path that's not really aligned with what makes you happy, what makes you sleep better at night? And yes, it can be scary, especially if you haven't welcomed those guests for a long time. They might have plenty to say. And quite honestly, when I have that experience, I know that I'm in for a good ride. I almost block the entire day, or the evening at least, and pour myself a good cup of tea or a glass of wine and just say, here you go, the door is open, come on in. Tell me what you've been dying to tell me all along. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes there are tears or laughters or ecstasy or immense pain. And it's all part of the flow. But you know what happens every single time? Without exception? the moment that guest leaves. And she always does. She never lingers longer than a day. Whenever I fully hear her out, when she leaves, I feel this huge, immense burden lifted off my shoulders, like I can breathe again. And I had forgotten how to breathe for months. And I often kick myself, hey, why didn't you invite her in earlier? And there are always these reasons. It was busy. There was not a good moment. I didn't know what to expect. I was afraid. And all good reasons. But I always tell myself and make myself promise actually for the next time. Do let her in. Invite her in even. Don't wait for the 10th knock or the 15th visit. Open the door the second time, the third time. Call her in and see what she has to say. I promise you will be relieved and glad that you did. Facing these guests, as Rumi puts it poetically, or facing our demons, as the rest of us call it, it isn't weakness, it is actual strength. To welcome every shade of life is to claim your full humanity. It's easy to welcome the guests that bring us laughter and light, but true courage, my friend, is found in welcoming the guest that brings us growth. Rumi reminds us of one simple truth. Nothing stays. He says, do not be fooled that this one guest will stay with me forever, as she will check out in a split second and vanish into non-existence. Everything, joy, sadness, love, and loss, is temporary. Each visitor, no matter how powerful, will eventually leave. So why cling? Why resist? Why fight the natural flow of life? It's like trying to hold on to the water that is pouring into your cupped hands, or as you're touching the stream of the river, trying to block it from flowing downstream. Is it really possible? No matter how much you try and resist the flow, that's life. A constant flow, a constant stream of emotions, experiences, people who walk in and out of our lives. We suffer most not from what happens to us, but from our resistance to it. We suffer because we try to freeze life into one permanent state. But that's just not how life's meant to work. We say, I want to be happy forever. I want to be infatuated and in love and experience this magic with this person, just like this, forever, even if we're together for 50 years. But that's not how life works. It flows like a river, like breath, like time. Can you hold your breath in? Or would you even want to? What about time? Can we freeze time? Or is the magic of life best experienced by flowing with that, with your breath, with time, with age? Every guest, every emotion, every experience comes, stays for a while, and leaves. And that sometimes gives us the feeling of insecurity or impermanence. But that's only if we try to hold on, if we take it as it is, like breath, that it is meant to come and go, but it will come again, just like sunset. Every sunset, we know there's a sunrise to expect. We may feel sad or nostalgic for a moment, but then we let it go, and we sleep and rest and prepare ourselves for a new day with new magic to knock on our door. We don't always know what that is, but we know sunrise will come, and new breath will come, and new experiences and people. These guests that walk into our door will come again and again, and we entertain with them, we sit with them, we enjoy that moment, and when it's time for them to leave, we walk them out the door. We wave goodbye, give them a hug even, and come back in. Take a rest for a moment, breathe, and be ready for the next guest to arrive. And in the meantime, while we're sitting in our cozy little house, you look around and you notice, hey, this last guest left me a surprise gift. I didn't even notice it. And you can ravel in it and open it and let it teach you, let it touch you for many moments and days and years to come, even though that guest has left. The gift they brought to you is with you forever. This is the beauty of being human, actually. We are not here to be perfect, to only feel joy or excitement, or to avoid all pain. We are here to experience it all. Every shade of humanity, every flavor of life, every guest. So welcome them, not because they are easy, but because they make you whole. Have you ever sat together with people who seem the happiest and fulfilled in life? When you listen to their stories, you might be surprised of the dark times they have gone through, the pain they have suffered. And yet, they have the brightest of smiles, the genuine laugh that just sparks so much joy in the room. Why do you think that is? Somehow, for us human beings, the lowest that our lows have been somehow lead us to appreciate and fully embrace the highest of highs. That's why when you see celebrities who on the surface have no problems, they have all the money and fame in the world, the entire universe loves them, yet they're miserable and they rely on drugs to feel something because the lows are no longer there. And the more we're in touch with the yin and yang of the human experience, the more we can truly appreciate and experience the full spectrum. So let's have Rumi's wisdom flow through our life today. Your heart is a guest house, my friend. Open the door, let them all in.